Welcome, everyone. It's Tuesday night. You know what that means? Outlawed live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Well, I got that thing right away there. Ron Stone, and we found Mike hiding. He's been hiding out here for a little bit. So Mike is in the house tonight. Mike, say hi to the folks.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I've missed you. We've been busy, but it's good to be back. Ron, good to see you. And we've got a big show tonight, I believe.
Big show. I kind of, the description for the show, I said we're celebrating Christmas early, at least for one super fan out there. I mean, wow, somebody out there, we know who it is, and we're going to disclose it tonight. One super fan gets an early Christmas gift. They get a brand new Case IH Farmall 25 SC tractor under the tree. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, they're waiting anxiously, and like you said, hopefully it's going to be one of those longtime viewers, but we will find out.
Yeah, we're going to disclose that tonight. In the first half of the show, we've got Adam Summerlot from Case IH. The corporate office is in the house tonight. Unfortunately, we don't have the winner on the show. He had previous obligations, was unable to come on the show. So there, I just disclosed it was a he. It's a guy that won it. So
okay.
There were some women that signed up. We had people sign up and enter the contest from 49 of the 50 states.
What's the only state that we weren't able to wrangle in?
Vermont. That was a trivia question a couple of weeks ago on the show, and we actually had people were guessing Alaska and Hawaii, which that's what I would have guessed.
What I would have guessed.
There were entries from Alaska and Hawaii, and we had one fan that was watching the show, and I put that up as a trivia question, and somebody guessed it, a guy in Bowling Green, Missouri, and I sent him a hat. So
there you go.
I think so. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, Vermont missed out on the party. So, we cut. There were 4 second prizes, some toys, which your boys would have loved, the pulling tractors.
Oh, can you imagine? Yep.
The folks at Case IH sent those out to those 4 second prize winners. But we got comments already. Also on tonight's show, in addition to Adam Summerlot from Case IH, we also, what is Jason Schultz saying? This is.
We have one very active commenter, it looks like, over here in the comments.
Okay, what's going on here? Jason Schultz, is this is free? What is he talking about?
I think
I don't know what he's talking about.
He's just giving us a hard time about me coming back on the show. He's of course he wanting to know it's deer season here in Missouri. He wants to know if I killed another deer, and he says he wouldn't pay to watch the two of us. He goes, this is free because he wouldn't. He goes, because I wouldn't pay to watch you two. Well, hey man, you know what?
Yeah, that's the one thing he doesn't realize is we have the power. We can do that right there and just say bye, Jason. Yeah. So no, lots of fans, a lot of input last couple of weeks on the show. A lot of people watching, just like Cole Lundahl, super fan out there in Wakefield, Nebraska. Says welcome back, Mike.
Good to see you, Cole. Hope all is going well out there.
Cole Lundahl, not only a super fan, but a photographer, and he does some stories on social media and actually helps us out, run cameras and things like
outlawpulling.tv. He did that quite a bit this summer. So he's kind of one of us part-time. He's a hard worker. Oh, that's true. Jason probably does have the access.
Now, I think this gal here is looking for Jason. Maybe I think
we can make that.
So also, in addition to Adam Summerlot and the Case IH winner tonight, we also have Limited Pro Diesel Pickup champion Skyler Leaper on tonight as well. Gonna be Jason.
He needs golf league to start back up on Tuesdays again. He's got too much free time.
He needs for mowing season to come back so he can mow his grass and get out some of that energy he's got. So.
But no, Skyler Leaper, boy, Ron, what another tight points race that was. 2 years in a row where we saw that 3.0 diesel truck class. Really, put on a whale of a narrative for the whole season long. And Skyler had a great showing. So can't wait to hear from him and see what he's got to say.
You know what? It came right down to the wire too. That's what was cool about that class.
Definitely.
Wayman came so close to cinching up 2 championships in the same season with the same vehicle, same class. And yeah, wow, that came right down to the wire, to the last hook there in Lufkin, Texas.
Love it when it comes that's 2 years in a row too that Lufkin has given us at least one class, if not more than one, where it was not decided until mid-October. You know, you've got to keep your eyes all the way peeled to Lufkin, and that's what makes that event so special, because it's not over till it's over, and you know, it's come down to something a couple of years now. So really cool stuff.
Yeah, Jason says, oh yeah, I saw your profile. Looks interesting. Yeah. Could you?
I hate to say this publicly, but would you mind sending me a friend request?
Oh, there she is. She's still sticking in there, Jason. So, yeah, absolutely. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. Yeah, that was awesome. Yes, Case IH is awesome. Man, she's very persistent, Jason. So, So without further ado here, now, Mike, what have you been doing? What's been going on? I mean, you've been
we have been knee deep in junior high basketball season. My wife is the junior high basketball coach. You know, here at the small school here in Bevier, Missouri, we wear a lot of hats. So I've either been driving the bus to all these games, or just kind of supporting that endeavor. You know, we've got the kids at home as well, so you can't really just stick them over and forget about them. So we've had basketball games for the past month. We just wrapped that season up, and we're back on the podcast. So a little give and take all the way around. That's how it all goes. We're happy to support the town, community, the school, pulling, all the above.
So you're the bus driver, huh?
You betcha.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's it's got a DT 466 with a turbocharger in it.
I told you.
That's as close as well, it's the DT 466. It's not even it's not the little one. It's the big one. Yeah. So that's as close as I get to a pulling vehicle, man. It's awesome.
I told you. You didn't believe me. I told you to put him in some of those buses. That's, Roy Niemeyer. He's from Bowling Green, Missouri. He's the one that won the hat there a couple weeks ago.
All right.
Roy, did you get your hat in the mail? I think I sent you a hat. As a hat or a T-shirt. I don't even remember now at this point. But he's the one that guessed Vermont as the one state that didn't have any entries in the Superfan contest. So, well, and it is a busy show, so we're going to get rolling here because you got your case. We're back with when the smoke clears.
Yep.
So let's get this thing going here. Let's Adam Summerlot. I think he's still in makeup, and let's see if they got him made up good here. Adam Summerlot, channel marketing manager at Case IH. Adam Summerlot, how's it going, Adam? Oh, we got to unmute you here. Adam, hit your unmute in your.
So much for that.
There we go. There we go. So let's try this again. Take two. Channel marketing manager for the Case IH company, Adam Summerlot. How's it going, Adam?
We just need to set the record straight on one thing. There's not enough makeup in the world to make me look good, so we just skip that.
I give some of my guests a hard time, but I was taking it easy on you tonight.
All right, you give me a hard time all you want to.
So this contest this year, huge deal.
Feedback from you guys and talking about the winners of the contest. Last time I was here, I think we were talking about what we were giving away.
Right.
Feels like it's been forever ago, but very excited. I do have a quick question because I wasn't able to catch you guys last week. Did you guys announce the second place winners?
We did. We announced those second place winners. We even had a little competition to see who could guess the one little state that decided not to have any entries. And
I heard that. I was surprised. I'm surprised.
Yeah, that actually people in Alaska and Hawaii were trying to win that tractor, which why not? A cool tractor. I mean, tell us about the tractor, Adam. Is this a new line for Case IH?
Brand new line this year. We actually launched it at Farm Progress last fall. It is a true subcompact, so it is the small size, 25 horsepower. Going to come with a loader and a mower deck underneath it, so ready to go out of the gate. These are ones we're really excited about. I tell everybody, Michael, you said the closest you get to a pulling tractor is that DT 466 school bus.
Yep.
Everybody loves seeing the Steigers. They love seeing the Magnums, but I don't have a place for one of those. I can't turn one of those around in my yard. This gives an opportunity to have a piece of that power, a piece of that, a piece of that legacy and prestige. So we're very excited to be back in the subcompact game. We've not had one for quite a while, but we're back and doing it the right way all the way.
Yeah, it's a good looking tractor. I mean, I don't think there's a whole lot you can't do with that tractor. You know, I mean, you can mow, you can, you got the loader on there and whatever you need to pull with it. I mean, it's been a big deal all summer, and we had a lot of entries for the contest, and it's actually been pretty excited about it. And it was pretty exciting also, Adam, to see like the second winners, the second prize winners. All but one were kind of out of the area where we actually physically pull in, the states that these winners came from, with the exception of Texas. We had one winner out of Texas, but we had, I think, Kentucky and trying to think of some of the states where I can't remember now, and I've got that list somewhere, but they were all states where we don't physically pull in, at this time. But that just shows you the reach that we're getting out there, entries, 49 states, entries of 49 states. People are watching outlaw pulling all over the place.
Yeah, that's Ron and Adam both. That's really interesting to think about. Do you think that's a reflection of, outlawpulling.tv, Case IH marketing, social media, all the above? I mean, that's a really interesting concept. What's your guys' take on, how it was able to reach so far beyond, the heart of the Midwest?
I'll give credit where credit is due. You guys put on one heck of a show wherever you go and wherever they're watching it from. We're proud to be a part of it. We're proud to be able to be a sponsor of it. But you guys do. You put on a heck of a show, and I think having 49 states, Hawaii and Alaska included, entered in this contest is a great representation of the great job you guys do.
Yeah, we appreciate that. We couldn't do it without a great title sponsor. I mean, you guys have been in our corner from the start. Whatever we needed, you guys have always been there, and it's been a great partnership, I think, with Case IH. I can't say enough about you guys, the whole management team, and the company itself. Nothing but respect. And the last year, the contest, I got to go right where you're sitting right now, Adam, and I'm kind of envious. And touring the assembly line and just seeing some of the things you guys did just blew me away, and I'll remember that forever. So yeah, you guys are a great company, so we appreciate it.
I'll put in my quick plug for all the red tractor guys like me. I'm not actually there. I'm in the Boot Hill, Missouri. This is my office when I go to Racine, though. Pretty much right here, as close as I can get to that 5488. But this is our experience center in Racine. If you ever get a chance, if you're in the Racine area, check it out. It's a great experience. We've got a lot of cool iron in there. We can work on getting you a plant tour scheduled, see how we build these things right there in Wisconsin. They roll in, the parts roll in one end and finished magnums roll out the other. So we're pretty proud of that facility. We're really proud of this experience center as well.
Some of the things that you actually do in-house there to build those Magnum tractors, I was kind of surprised that you hadn't farmed, that part out, the cutting of the gears, machining your own transmission cases, hardening your own axles, things like that. It's like, the assumption is in this day and age that you would farm that up. You guys do it all in-house. It all starts there, and then you actually see the tractor at the end. It's really cool.
And to be honest, not only do we produce the stuff for the Magnum there, the axles for the Steigers that get built in Fargo are also produced there, transmissions, all that then helps supply the other plants where we build tractors and combines across the U.S. And another cool experience, if you're ever in Fargo, plate steel rolls in one end of that factory and finished Steigers roll out the other.
Oh,
awesome.
It is a wild start to finish, and we're celebrating 50 years this next year of that facility and the Steiger heritage there. Sweet. So we're very excited about that facility as well.
Yeah, Jeremy Kurtzadina says, if you're red, you never go back. And then I think next year, Adam, I think, ever since I was there last year at the Case IH experience, I think that 76 Agri King back there, put that one in the contest next year. I'll put 1,000 to try to get that thing.
You've been drooling over that, Ron, ever since you went up there. If I've heard it once over the past year, I've heard that 1,000 times. That is Ron's dream machine sitting right back there.
That is a beautiful machine. There is no doubt about it. I'm a little more partial to this one right behind me, but it's a beautiful lineup. We got a few other toys that hide in the shed and come out every once in a while up there too. So
Adam, I had the Ertl tractor, that 76 Agri King, when I was 6 years old. And my dad bought one for me that year because he worked at a dealership. He was a parts man. And he bought one for my brother and he bought one for himself. And he said, now, boys, don't play with these. Don't take them out of the box. How you going to tell a 6-year-old kid not to take a toy track? Of course, it got played with in the dirt, and we had tractor pulls, and the stickers never stayed on very well in the dirt. So he actually kept his in the box. It's I don't know what that thing would be worth now, but pretty neat old tractors.
I'll tell you the wild story. You say that we learned that lesson, and there's probably between those 3 tractors sitting behind me, there's a grand total of maybe 200 hours.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So they are all original. They're unique, but we're very proud of where we've been. It cements a lot of where we're going in the future. We've got a great legacy behind the 2 brands that came together to form Case IH, and we're proud of that heritage, and it really does drive where we go.
Yeah, awesome. So the winner of the contest here, now he couldn't come on because of a prior engagement. I understand, Adam. I think you probably talked to Kyle a little bit about this too. But we're going to go ahead and announce who he is tonight.
All right.
And where he's from. And he's not a big pulling fan. He actually was looking into going to some pulls, I think is what I was told.
Mm-hmm.
And he was looking into going to Bloomfield, Iowa, and somehow on our website entered the contest. And so now maybe he's an Outlaw fan and a Case IH fan for life, or at least he should be, right?
I would imagine so.
That's what we always want to take care of the fans, and we want to help attract new ones, both sides. So we're glad that it works out that way.
So anything else you want to say about the contest before we announce the winner, Adam? I mean, anything to build up to this? I mean, drum roll or anything?
I'm terrible with sound effects, so I was hoping you guys had that on the ready.
That's why we brought Mike Idle along. He does all the sound effects. Mike, go ahead with the drum roll there. I'm kidding. Adam, did you want to disclose who the winner is here? You want me to do it?
Let's just break the silence. We'll start. We started who didn't enter. So Minnesota was our winning state.
Minnesota.
Well, a town called Plymouth. Don't know much about Plymouth myself. I'm not super great with Minnesota geography. Mick Meyer was our grand prize winner, and we'll be working with him to get the tractor delivered to his local dealership and setting up with him to do an event to present that tractor to him.
Do you have that local dealership? Do you know what dealership that is yet?
We were settling on it. My team hadn't filled me in on where we finally landed.
Okay, thought we'd give him a plug here while we're.
I would love to, and we'll do plenty of it as we get this thing announced.
So Mick Meyer, the gentleman's name that won. We should have had some graphics here set up, Mike. We could have like fireworks and stuff going on.
Yeah.
Super cool. I've been looking forward 100%. To this all year to see who's going to win that tractor, man. Thank you guys so much for doing this. That is an awesome contest prize. And I know a lot of people were asking questions about it all summer long. And we had a lot of entries. Like I said, 49 states had entries in. So thank you guys so much for doing this year. And I'm sorry, go ahead, Adam.
Ron, I was going to say, we set a record, I think, for entries this year, if I remember right. From previous years, we had a lot of entries, a lot of great interest. I'm excited to start talking about what we do for next year. Awesome.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
Yep.
Yeah. As soon as you guys get that together, we'll start pushing it out there. I mean, that's awesome. I don't know if you can outdo yourselves though, Adam. So that's a challenge for you guys.
There's always another foot in there somewhere.
I love that this gentleman's from, you said he was from Minnesota, correct? And Ron, you said his story was he was looking at attending maybe one of his first tractor pulls in Bloomfield, Iowa.
Yeah.
I don't know where in Minnesota he is, but of course, Bloomfield is in southeast Iowa. So
right.
He was willing, he's putting in the time and the research and willing to invest quite a bit to potentially see his first tractor pull. Of course, Case IH has, their foot in the door all through the heart of the Midwest. So that's just, like Adam was saying earlier, the way that this partnership has worked so well. That's really neat that's kind of how this played out. So hopefully he gets to some pulls, and definitely he'll get a lot of use out of that tractor.
Well, here's what, and I'll and I talked to Kyle earlier today, and we talked about this, and the fact that he's an older gentleman, is looking to travel and do different things. He's never been to a tractor pull, is looking to go to a tractor pull. So Kyle and I, we talked about it. It's like, he needs tickets to go to Thunder in the Valley in 2025.
Exactly.
When we talk to him again, we're going to offer him tickets to go to Thunder in the Valley next July in 2025, because he needs to go and live the Outlaw experience at one of our biggest events of the season. So I think he'll be a fan for life after that.
Oh yeah.
Kurt Van Beek, of course, the owner of the Outlaws, says, we're glad that Adam is going to be at our banquet this weekend. So thank you, Adam, and your team for all you do, and look forward to seeing you this weekend. Are you going to be speaking at the banquet this weekend, Adam?
Briefly, I think. Briefly. Briefly is the key word.
Awesome. Megan Engelmeyer, of course, her dad is a puller, pulls a Super Farm tractor, a Case IH, by the way. She said she works at Titan Machinery. It has been cool to see the 715 Steiger come through the store and the AF10. Thank you, Case, for sponsoring our association.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All good feedback. Adam, you guys, I'm interested to know what's going to happen next year, how you're going to outdo this, because this was an awesome promotion from Case IH.
Thank you. We've got a great team that's working on it, starting to think about how we go bigger and better.
Awesome. So congratulations to Mick Meyer from Plymouth, Minnesota. I understand that's close to Minneapolis, somewhere outside of Minneapolis, maybe. But congratulations to him. Wow, a lot of people were tuning in to see who's going to win that tractor. Sure. So we had a lot of entries out there. So, well, Adam, thanks so much. Anything new coming from Case IH that we need to be looking forward to? Any new lines or anything coming out soon?
Guys, there's a lot of exciting stuff coming next year. That's about all I can say for it right now.
All you can say.
I can tell you, stay tuned. There's some new stuff coming down the pipe.
Usually I'll use my investigative ways to try to pry things out of people, but I won't do that to you here tonight.
They don't tell me anyway. That's all they tell me.
Thanks so much, Adam Summerlot from Case IH, the Outlaw Superfan Contest brought to you by Case IH. Thank you so much, and we'll be talking to you soon, Adam.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you much.
Awesome. Mick Meyer, big thanks to Adam Summerlot for coming on, taking the time to come out, and we're going to see him this weekend. He'll be speaking at the banquet, which is going to be freaking huge, off the chain. Mike Idle, are you going to be there?
Ron, this is probably my favorite weekend of the entire calendar year. After my inaugural experience last year, pulling season's wonderful, but man, the banquet, I don't know if it gets more fun than that right there. So yeah, we'll be at the banquet, and you're right. I mean, it's just a reflection of how big this association and how well things are trending in the right direction. What's our total number? I heard the number of like around 500 last year. Are we looking to be that big again this year with total guests?
I haven't checked in on that number, but yeah, we were over 450, between 450 and 500 last year. And the banquet's so cool just because there's so many things to do.
100%.
You bring the kids. The kids aren't going to be bored. There's an arcade. There's a bowling alley. There's an indoor water park. There's also a separate spa and a pool. If you need to get a massage, Mike, you can make an appointment to get a massage there, get a facial done, what have you. There's 2 bars. There's like 2 or 3 restaurants. It's just a super cool place to have.
If you're bored, it's your own fault.
That's true. True.
How many total entries did we have? I was curious about this. in ballpark, if you have this number for that Case IH super fan experience, do you have that data?
You know what? I think I had it, but I'm not going to say it yet till I get confirmation from Kyle here, just to make sure.
Sure.
But he did say we set, as long as we've been doing this contest with the Outlaws, that there was a record number of entries. But so cool, 49 states. I mean, and this was not marketed outside of the Outlaws. So this was marketed expressly by the Outlaws. Case IH wasn't going outside the Outlaws and promoting this contest.
Mm-hmm. So this is just a reflection of the partnership with Case IH and the Outlaw Media Group and the Outlaw, family. That's cool because Ron, we have pools in 6 states, I think. So you would imagine that would be kind of where you would see it. But then when you stop and think about that, means we had people with eyeballs on Case IH and eyeballs on Outlaw pulling coast to coast, except now I feel like when Ronald Reagan got elected president and they asked him what he wanted for Christmas and he said, Minnesota would have been nice. It was the only state he didn't win. Now I'm sitting here, Vermont would have been nice. So
would have been nice to get 1 entry from Vermont.
So
we got all 50. Yeah, that would have been cool. And speaking of the banquet, Mike, I was getting ready to say, whatever day you're coming down, you get to miss out on some of the really fun stuff, like the meetings, the board meetings and the class meetings and all that. So you're just going to be hanging out at the bar. Right?
Here, well, I think I have a meeting right here. Kevin says that we have a meeting at the bar. So
I saw that.
I'm very busy, Ron, very occupied. Kevin and I have a lot. But no, It would be interesting, I think, just to be a fly on the wall in one of those meetings. So I'm going to enjoy myself and have fun interacting and building relationships with all the pullers. But, I think even sitting in on those and you being kind of a gearhead and a technical minded individual, there's probably neat stuff that comes out of being in those meetings, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's all for good. We're trying to. Yep. We're trying to do what's best for the pullers, trying to do what's best for the classes, trying to do what's best for the organization, trying to do what's best for the sport. And you got to take all those things into account when you have these meetings and balance it all out. So Marty Samuelson, the mayor of Ravenna, Nebraska, checking in. So it sounds like a great weekend, always a fun weekend at the Outlaw Banquet. So without further ado, and we're going to let's give him a few more minutes and make up. I think we need to powder his nose a little bit more, Mike. So I just want to play this video. Mackenzie Teeting put this video together, and man, she's got her work cut out for her. She's got to make one of these 4-minute videos for every point.
And she's been getting a lot done. She's been cranking out so much lately with this stuff.
But check out this video. This is kind of a season long. I think there may even be some 2023 stuff in here, but a season long account of Skyler's road to the championship with the Outlaws.
That was the 650 or the big motor. Skyler Leaper getting ready to take off here. The Legal Limits Dodge out of California, Missouri. Coming off a win last night down in Troy, Missouri. Pulling with the Western Series. Got a second on Thursday night in Ottawa, Iowa. Here comes Legal Limits. Here comes the challenge to Megatron once again. Skyler Leaper out of California, Missouri. Legal Limits. Yeah, buddy. Nice. Racing wheels. Check them out at extremeperformancepulling.com. Skyler Leaper, California, Missouri. This your number 2 truck and points. Legal Limits. California, Missouri. Skyler Leaper, Legal Limits. Is not going to get any closer than...
Awesome. So without further ado, here's the man himself from California, Missouri, Skyler Leaper. Skyler, what's happening, buddy?
Just taking it easy tonight.
That's got to make you feel pretty good watching that video, man.
Yeah, it's a nice video.
I think we were pretty close to exceeding our limits of how much data we could keep here in the.
I tried to load one up earlier and it kicked it out. So yep, we're about chuck full.
Yeah, 4 minutes is a pretty healthy video. That's a lot of data to be storing there. So this is you're no stranger to this championship thing. I mean, you won it in 2016 and 17 as well.
Yeah, we always work at it and try to win. We come to win, but got some others that come to win too. So got to really work at it.
Your class is tough. You know, you kind of had to come out of that number 2 position. You could hear Ron in your highlight video. If he said it once, he said it a couple of times. Currently number 2 in points as you were, you know, tracking down Jason Wayman and Megatron. And of course you got Ryan Stahl, last year's points champion too. You were able to end up pull it out by 3 points when it was all said and done. How did you kind of find your way climbing up and getting past those 2 really good pullers? Well, the whole class full of really good pullers for that matter.
We just set the truck how it works best and stuck with it. Didn't try nothing new. That's probably my worst enemy of trying stuff new, but just set it how it worked, and truck did its job and I did mine.
Yeah, Wayman is I mean, he's a tough customer, and he had it set. That was his goal this year, was to win 2 championships in the same season. And man, he gave you a run for the money, and it looked like he was potentially going to pull it out there. And then last pull of the season, last hook of the season, and you pulled it out, man. That's got to feel pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's something we have in common. We both come to win. So he's a competitor, but so am I.
Now, did you guys actually flip-flop your standings? I was doing some research for something else. I don't remember what it was. Did you finish up second in the other association, and he grabbed that one, and then you guys flipped over here with us in the Outlaws?
Yep, that's how that worked.
So we need a rubber match in there somewhere then.
Yeah, I had a bad first pull at the beginning of the season, and that put me down several points. But I came back, and but I couldn't finish it off. So, but I had a pretty good season.
Yeah, he actually was ahead of you there for a while there. It was, the script couldn't have been written any better going down into Lufkin to have you guys square off for the last. And credit to Jason Wayman. I mean, he's a fierce competitor, and he has a love for the sport. He sponsors the class for both organizations, Outlaws and PPL Western Series. So, I mean, is that your biggest competition? Is that the guy you worry about the most? Is Wayman when you come out to a pool?
Yeah, he is my toughest competitor for sure. He goes out, works at it. He'll take off, go out east, and that's something you got to do. I mean, you got to keep hooking, know your truck. I mean, you can't set it home, and you got to keep it on the track. That's a lot of things people don't understand. You got to hook and get the feel for your truck and to make it win.
Yeah, your truck looks sharp out there this year, but I have a suggestion. I think you got to change the name now. I think Optimus Prime.
Oh,
our new truck's gonna be a primered color.
Really?
So
new truck now. This in addition to.
Yeah, I've been working on it for a few years, gathering parts, but I think this year we may get time to finish it up.
So are you going to campaign 3 vehicles then, or what's the story with Chainsmoker? Or is this Chainsmoker kind of being revamped, or?
No, this is a truck that we're going to build for my dad, and he's going to pull it a little bit, and I'll pull it mostly. But he wanted his own truck, so we've been kind of gathering parts, and I think we got them all. Just got to put it together.
All right. Well, I'm going to make the assumption it's a Dodge for the Cummins, right?
Yep, it's a second gen. I'm a second gen guy.
Okay. That's awesome. And your crew, you got a crew, at least a couple guys that run around with you there. I mean, those guys help out quite a bit, don't they?
Yeah, Shane. I put a post on Facebook looking for some help this year, and he said he'd like to go with me, and he made most every one of them. He did some truck driving.
Yeah.
Great help. Couldn't have asked for anybody better. If it wasn't for him, I don't think I could have done everything I did this year.
Yeah, he's been around pulling a few years. I remember him when he was a kid running around when I was announcing Missouri State pulls. Of course, his mom was a secretary there, but yeah, he's been around it for a while.
And it helps that he likes pulling and likes to go, and he's dedicated.
Awesome. Anybody else you want to thank on your success this year?
Patrick O'Brien Diesel Service, Lenny Reed, Dynamite Diesel, Hearts, my dad for keeping the shop going back at the house. It's hard to get away running 24/7 record service, so he has to stay. He only made it to one pull this year, State Fair, but if he's another one that I appreciate him doing what he does, because I wouldn't be able to do what I am doing without him taking care of the business.
Absolutely. Did you have any major issues with the truck this year? Anything that, Start Virginia was like, oh, this could cost us a season? Any major issues, or was it just a smooth sailing all season long?
After White I finished 17 foot behind Wayman, and wasn't happy with the way the truck was working, and we came back and found an issue in the front end, and we also changed tires. But after that, it was like we flipped a switch. But no mechanical issues all year.
What did you have in White on Friday? Was it a pinion bearing or something?
No, that was on Chainsmoker.
Gotcha.
Ring gear and pinion.
Okay.
And we got a new ring gear and pinion in it, and it was quite warm that next day working on it.
Yeah, it was a little toasty down in White in late June. Yeah, sure was. But yeah, we appreciate you guys coming down, and the fans, they love those diesel pickups down there.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be 2 trucks coming out of. I mean, is Deaverman going to come out and pull some more next year?
Yeah, I think so. He's going to be out. Hope to get this new truck going, and it's going to take some lining out. They all do. But it have all the good pieces in it to be competitive.
I was going to say, be hard. You probably don't have space for 3 trucks in the hauler there, do you?
No.
Have to carry some doubles there. Have to pull 2 double trailers and pull that chain smoker around. So, are you happy where you're at in this 3.0 class? You ever see yourself moving on, or is this the class for you? This
I think this is the class. It's the hooks are closer to home. I wouldn't mind putting a 3.6 Charger on and playing a little bit, but
with the pro stocks.
I think we could be competitive there, especially there ain't no common rails, but I think we could bolt a turbo on some different tires and be real competitive there too.
Let's talk about this. Oh, go ahead, Ron.
That's all right, Mike. Go ahead, buddy.
Well, I'm just going to say, let's talk about this 3.0 class as a whole while you're there. Skyler, you said you're really happy with it. And, if there's one thing I've seen in pulling over the past couple of years, it seems to be that this is a class that's, all eyeballs and all builders are on. I was down at Diesels and Dark Corners a couple of weeks ago. There were 62 entries in the limited pro stock diesel truck class. Just give us your spiel on this class. Is this the most popular class in pulling? What attracted you to this class? What do people love about it so much?
Yeah, it's the most popular. I mean, that Shide and Diesels and Dark Corners, they got the most hooks. The 2.6 class, it's more the Western Series stuff out here. But the 3.0 class is nationwide. There's trucks everywhere.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that question. How long have you been pulling, Skyler? Because you remember the early days, if you've been around as long as I think you have around this class, how it was all a mess early on.
I've been pulling for 21 years. Started out tractor pulling. Then we got this truck when I was 17 or 18. So been at it a few years.
In the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s, when the diesel pickups first came on, I'm talking 2003 to 2007, somewhere in there. We were searching. Everybody was searching for where to go and how to lay the rules out for the class. There was a little bit of everything out there, and I'm sure you remember that, Skyler. If you were involved in the class early on, yet nitrous was involved, and there was so much stuff going on, and it was cool to finally get everything narrowed down and classified the way it needed to be. But it was pretty chaotic there for a while.
Yeah, that was back in the early days of diesel truck pulling.
Then of course the rear ends. Your class, it was limited to 1-ton rear end, and you guys were keeping the ring and pinion businesses, manufacturers in business there for a while.
Yeah, I was in the 3.0 slotted class, so I always had a big rear end. But I got plenty of opportunity to help a few others try to keep theirs on the track. Jesse Knight, I helped him at 1 year, and Richard Lowry helped him. I'm glad they allowed big rear ends.
Yeah, they were getting what, about 3 passes out of those. I mean, it was getting pretty bad there at the end.
At Shide, we change after every pass.
Wow.
So 4 ring gear and pinions.
Holy smoke. Wow. In 1 weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. So cool. Man, congratulations. Are you coming to the banquet?
Yep, we'll be there.
Awesome. Man, did you go last year?
I didn't make it last year. I went to auction to bid on a low mile 2nd gen Dodge.
I remember that.
That's a man in the 3.0 class. That's a good excuse. That's an allowable other weekend to be doing right there. So, what were some of your biggest? You swept Lufkin. final hook of the year, final pull of the year to walk away with points championship. Was that your crown jewel on the season? What were your personal favorite, or what did you consider to be your biggest wins or your biggest success stories on the season?
I had a streak there this summer where I won, I don't know, was it 6 or 7 in a row? That was probably something I was pretty proud of, because hard to do.
Nate Bridgman says, congratulations, great job this year. Of course, he's a fellow 3-0 puller. Randy Barker says, notice your truck didn't bounce a whole lot. Now, watching some of those videos, you can hear the bounce in there, but it usually kind of irons itself out. That all comes down to suspension and tire pressure, but I've never seen you pull back on a throttle because it's bouncing.
Not this year. I've had to do it a few times, but not this year.
Now we saw Ryan have to. Yeah, he stayed in at one time and it was bouncing this year and tore some things up, of course. But he bounced pretty bad. So one of your pit crew guys, Shane
7
Jackson,
was the winning streak.
He's watching. So. All right, man. Give you one more opportunity. Anybody else you want to thank? Any sponsors? Any helpers out there on this awesome season in 2024?
Like I said, Shane again. All the suppliers that keep the thing running. Adam Kincaid down in Kentucky for advice. I call him. We talk weekly. He's been pulling a long time. Got a lot of experience that I'm taking and putting on the track up here. So want to thank him.
And you got somebody else that was traveling around with you this summer too.
My girlfriend, Amy, she didn't miss many. She missed White, but that was about it.
So I'm just helping you for future.
I was going to say, you owe Ron a thank you for when you stay out of the doghouse later on. That's what that was. Well played, Ron Stone.
Sorry, man. You might have some more competition next year. I hear some of the Texas boys are going to run the point schedule next year. So
that's good.
They're licking their chops down there.
I'd like to see them run a full schedule. And I like to see, I like going to Texas, and I hope they come up here and run with us. And I like the competition.
Awesome. Well said. Awesome. Makes it a lot more fun. Gives you something more to shoot for. So thanks so much, Skyler Leaper. Congratulations again on your points championship in the limited pro diesel pickup class here, sponsored by No Way Man Diesel. Congratulations, and we'll see you this weekend, buddy.
All right. Thank you. See you this weekend.
Good job.
Skyler. Awesome.
Tight points race, man. That was awesome. 2 years in a row where we had something come down to Lufkin. I'd kind of forgotten, Ron, that he won Friday and Saturday. I had to pull up the app and double check that, but he almost needed both of those wins. He only won by 3 points, and that race was so close. So I bet he was on cloud 9 back at the trailer, back at the hauler after Saturday night, wrapping up a pair of wins and a points championship. So can't beat it. That's why we love pulling, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. He's 3-time champion now. He had 2 back-to-backs in 16 and 17. So 3 times now he's won the Outlaw Points Championship in that class. And it may get he may get some company next year. I'm hearing that there's a few tough trucks out of Texas going to come play with us.
There's one in particular that, and you kind of always leaned over this summer anytime he would show up, and you'd point him out to me and you'd say, that farm truck, keep an eye on that one, Mike. And he's had a heck of a fall. So if his name's in the mix, I hope so, because that's a tight class as it is, and we'd love to see all those Texas guys come and run with us full time. It's good for the sport.
Yeah, and that other truck, the gray one, that the old Hill Brothers truck. Adam Kincaid that Skyler was alluding to, said he helps him from time to time on advice. He owned that truck. He ran that truck in Kentucky, and now that one is owned by the same family that runs the farm truck. So those are 2 really rip snorting diesel pickups.
So it's a fun class. That's one of those classes I've kind of re-fallen in love with over the past couple of years. It's they've got it sorted out. They've evolved from kind of those Wild West days like you were talking about, and they put on a whale of a show. It's exciting.
Yeah, it was pretty chaotic around, I'm going to say 2005 to 2000,
Yeah.
in that time there, that around, there were just everybody had so many different combinations of stuff and the rules. And finally, the rules just, I went to some of those rules meetings, just general rules meetings. It wasn't even any particular organization, just trying.
Just what the heck? What is this class going to grow up to be?
And the nitrous was being thrown out there because a few of the guys were running nitrous at the time, and it's like, of course, that doesn't go in pulling. We don't like
nitrous oxide. Nope. We've always kind of drawn the line there.
So, congratulations, Skyler Leaper. Congratulations, Mick Meyer, for winning that Farmall 25 SC track. I think I got a picture. Did I download a picture of that and put out here? I don't think. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. Look at that beauty right there. That's what he won.
That is. Ron, I think I might just have to go look at one of those myself personally. That would look pretty good on the old 4C Red Angus Ranch right here at the Idle Farms. So that's a handy piece of equipment.
That is a good looking tractor. He's going to get a lot of years of use out of that, man. That's and $4,000 cash too on top of that. So yeah. So Merry Christmas, early Christmas to Mick Meyer of Plymouth, Minnesota, wins the Outlaw 2024 Superfan Contest, sponsored by Case IH. Let's see if we missed any comments here, Mike.
I just love that someone from Plymouth, Minnesota was looking to drive all the way to Southeast Iowa to experience their first tractor pull with the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association. Like you and Kyle said, get that man to a pull. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the least we can do. And, he was looking into it. So let's get him hooked. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
let's get him
100%.
We get some more super fans. So what is this? James O'Harmon, Mike, pull my
name I think he was probably under the assumption that we were going to be drawing live for that winner tonight.
Oh, gotcha.
He was trying to work some positivity and some magic, but I don't have those kind of strings, buddy. And so
they actually drew the name a couple of weeks ago, but because of all the legalities and make sure that that person is eligible, you never know. Somebody could have, a 14-year-old could have put their name in the pot and it got to be
right.
18, and they got to go through all that, make sure that they're eligible. So, and we don't want to announce a name and then they end up not being eligible and have to redraw. So, all that fun stuff you got to take care of, Marty. Any big changes on the schedule or rules for 2025? Well, there's going to be some rule changes. I'll promise you that.
Mm-hmm.
Schedule changes. Yes, there are going to be some schedule changes.
Can you speak on any rumors of the schedule changes? Last time I was on the show was quite a while ago, and you had heard maybe some positive rumors about something over in my neck of the woods. Are you at liberty to divulge anything of just any rumors, or
nothing yet from your neck of the woods, buddy? Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing yet from your neck of the woods. Just
we around here. There's been, and they all come to me and they say, "Mike, what do you know? What do you?" I say, "Man, I'm not the." I just talk about them. I don't do that. But there are a lot of people very enthusiastic in this area looking to see some pulling. So
probably one little guy in your house, probably more enthusiastic, more than anybody.
He's
close to home.
I ask him we talk about this frequently, and he's pretty adamant that his favorite pull is Wisner, Nebraska. That's kind of always been our thing. He comes out there to Wisner with me. So cool. 6 hours, that's no big deal. He's willing to go just about anywhere to go pulling.
He can get a good nap in while Dad drives to get
betcha.
Pull. He'd be all charged up when he gets there. So we're going to get a new pull in Texas, which we've been there before. It's been a few years, but Lindsay, Texas, we're going back to Lindsay, Texas for a 2-nighter in June, and a pull in Kansas.
Good.
Where
I like to see us expanding into Kansas a little more, so that's cool.
And some other areas. Never know. We might throw Minnesota in there. You never know. We might cross the Mississippi. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
I think, for just what it's worth, and if I can say this on the live podcast, I think the state of Minnesota and just their aura and their personality around pulling and the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling would be a very, very good match. Just based on, we see some Minnesota pullers come down, at places like Rock Valley and at places like Wisner. I kind of get a vibe for some of their fans. I think that would be just a strong fit with our product.
Yeah, it's like we pull right up there, against that state line, all summer long, and it's like, why don't we just,
I agree. I completely agree. No.
It's not another country; it's another state.
So maybe old Mick Meyer will be our advocate up there, and so
heck yeah. So Mike, everybody's been asking, when the smoke clears. Let's
clear some smoke. Yeah, let's clear some smoke. And folks, I almost posted them on social media, but I wanted to make sure that every puller had their chance in the sun and kind of got to get the debut on the podcast. So let's get back on track. I've still got several to roll through. And like always, we want to feature all of our outlaw pullers. So if you have not been featured on When the Smoke Clears, you don't have to be a points champion. You don't have to be this, that, or the other. If you hook with the Outlaws and you're a member, contact us and we will do the work for you. We'll build your highlight video. But this week, Case IH was on the show with us. So let's keep it in that red camp. And this week, When the Smoke Clears, you'll be seeing Alan Ulmer of the light super stock class. Good looking tractor right there. Let's run his video really quick and then I'll read you his biography.
Gotta love that one video of the roller. I think it was the roller pulling the blade. There was a 1206 on the other track as he was coming down the track there. It was kind of cool.
Perfect. I just think that's such a good looking tractor. And, they've been compiling data and learning and developing as a team in that light super stock class. And it just, every time I talk to Alan this summer, he says, Mike, we're closer, we're 20 feet farther than we were last weekend and so on and so forth. And then they're at Buckner, Missouri. It really looked like towards the end of the season that tractor lit. And I think they're poised to have a strong 2025 season. Super nice guy, super hardworking. He sent me a typed out PDF biography. So he's probably my most organized puller that I've had so far. So we'll check out Alan Ulmer from Minnow, South Dakota, the driver of the Never Enough light super stock tractor. He's been pulling for 15 years. His first hook was in 2009 in Rock Valley, where he actually piloted Doug Baird's light super stock ag called Burning Desire. Said his most memorable hook was in 2017 in Wisner, Saturday night. He had to beat Tyler Ulmer, who was driving Eleanor, by 10 feet or more to win the Thunderbolt. He says we won by 13 feet and took home the Thunderbolt. And he says he also had a big memory at the Kansas State Fair in 2017. We won the light superstock ag class by 101 feet. 426 feet was their distance, with the second place coming in at 325. So they poked it out pretty good on that one. So
imagine the poor guy that pulled 325 thinking, yeah, I got this, right? Yeah.
Imagine too, like he's the test hook and he's like, 325, I feel great. And he watches the whole class go by and he's like, man, I'm sitting pretty. And he gets, by 101 feet. So
there comes a red freight flying by. Yeah.
So he says, wildest ride. He says, knock on wood, but I've been fortunate enough not to have a wild ride. He says, saying that tongue in cheek because I do drive a light super stock after all. Right. He goes, but my roughest ride was probably Rock Valley 2018 Friday night. Says our wastegate stuck and we ran all the boost, and at 200 feet it detonated with the front end 2 foot in the air. He goes, that landing hurt. Says he doesn't have a points championship yet, but he was second in points in light super stock ag in 2015, and then second in points in the light super stock class this season. He says we don't typically chase the points. In 16 and 17, we won 30 out of 32 light superstock ags hooks that we attended. He says I only lost at Weeping Water, Nebraska due to breakage and one session of Wisner, where none other than, of course, Tyler beat them on Eleanor. So we're seeing a theme right here with last names and the light superstock ag division, so
part of that Ulmer Mafia there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And right there with that Ulmer Mafia, asked him, who's your biggest pulling hero? He says, this is a loaded question. He just says the Ulmer family. He goes, but if I had to go outside all of us, he says Gary Whip with the Deer Fever would be someone that he looks up to very, very much. Best pulling advice. He says, you've got 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. He goes, watch and listen to some of the older folks before you open your mouth.
Good advice. Good advice.
That Ron, I'm not gonna lie, I was reading that today. That hit me a little hard because I'm kind of known to speak first and think second. So I was like, that might be, I think I'm gonna have to pay attention to that one. So
especially when it comes to watercraft purchases, right? It's we won't bring that up. I'm sorry.
She doesn't even watch the show very often. And you were on Let's Grow Pulling, and she goes, I decided I was going to get on there and watch Let's Grow Pulling. And the first thing I get on there is Ron talking about the boat. It's a wonderful boat. We're all very happy with the boat. If you don't know the boat story, Dominic and I will be together at the banquet this weekend. We will gladly tell you the boat story.
I've heard it. It's just a funny story.
Men being men, we do what we do. Alan says his day job, because this is another loaded question as well, but his main business is a power sports mechanic, ATV, side-by-side, snowmobiles, motorcycles. We also do some machine shop business as well, including mill work, lathe work, welding, and repair. They're a hell of a snowmobile racing team, too. Like, he was telling me they don't always need snow to race these things. I guess that's the case. Sometimes they race them on grass or stuff like that, but he's a wild man out there on the snowmobiles. So that's kind of his foray outside of pulling. His pulling goals, he wants to get a win. He says, right now, I just want to take home a win in the light superstock class. Best part about being an outlaw, he says the Outlaws really are a great group. The camaraderie, not only in our own class, but throughout the whole organization, is great. His message to the fans is stop and ask questions. Love having younger generation wanting to climb up into the seat and get some pictures. He's one of the most approachable people in the world of pulling. He will answer any and all of your questions, loves to tell you about what he's up to. And you can follow them on social media at Facebook at the Never Enough 1456 Ulmer Pulling Team. When the smoke clears, you'll be looking at Alan Ulmer, driver of the Never Enough Light Superstock.
Awesome. And you spoke to the fact that he was working on that all summer and getting it closer and using the data he had. And you could see it getting a little bit better and get closer to where he needs to be. As long as he doesn't change a whole lot of stuff in the off season, he should be pretty close to where he needs to be at the start of 2025. because he was gaining ground on it all year long and just making little adjustments to get there.
Very much so. I think that's going to be one to keep an eye on in the 2025 season, just by virtue of consistently being everywhere he needed to be. He picked up that second place in points this year, but he's got the data, and he's an Ulmer from Minnow, South Dakota. You know, they know how to drive pulling tractors, so he knows what he's doing in the seat. It's just about putting all that data together and getting the thing to hook.
Chuck Hobbs checking in. Chuck, speaking of Chuck Hobbs, you know, he's got a picture of one of his mini rods there. I think he's got one or two. We'll be talking about the limited mini rods this weekend.
Yes, forgot about that.
A lot of interest in that class. I think it's going to go well as long as we can get everything comes together the way I'm hoping it does. You know, we're going to be able to offer that class to a lot of promoters this summer.
Speak briefly about that limited mini rod class. That's still a blown class, right? But it's a smaller blower, a smaller block or something?
Well, both 380 cubic inch with a 671 supercharger.
Oh, that's intriguing. That's interesting.
And, you know, I saw these guys pull. They pull with the PPL has Western Series pulls them sometimes, ITPA and I think some other organizations in Illinois. And you know, in full honesty, I've just never been a huge mini rod fan.
Fair.
But when I saw these guys pull in Washington, Missouri,
I was wondering. I was going to say, I bet that's where you wet your whistle with them.
You know, they caught my eye. They put on a really good show, and I was like, all right, well, that was one of them. That was a good one. Then the next one come out and roared down the track sideways and tracking sideways, like, well, all right, we got a mini rod class here. So, and yeah, I mean, they do allow larger cubic inch motors, but they can't be supercharged. They get too big per the rules. They actually have to be handicapped some weight. So supercharged 380, and I'm hearing they're pushing 1,400 horse out of these small blocks with the 671 supercharger. So a lot of interest from outlaw pullers as well that already have pulling machines about adding a mini rod to their stables. So the Ulmer family is one of them.
Yeah, I know that's something that I hear a lot of stories and rumors, and they kind of scratch their chins and think about, you know, well, what would we do if their name comes up a lot when mini rod discussion makes the table.
And in the Ott family is they want to throw their hat in the ring and build an L11 turbine mini rod. So
that would be a hand and a glove. That would be the Otts with a mini rod. And did you say with a turbine power plant on it? The world needs to see that. We need to bring that to the world. That combination right there.
Yeah, that used to be a thing back in the day. I'm not sure what size turbines they were running back in the late 70s when you saw some of those around. But this class, limiting it to around that 1,400 horsepower range. Might see the L11s do pretty decent in there. I think they're good for 1,100. I think that's with water. So never know. Might be a good combo to run in there.
You would see a lot of the light limited modified guys, the way in some of the other associations you see like the unlimited mod guys, they kind of have a mini rod that they bring with them. I could see the light limited mod guys suddenly having a mini rod that went along with what they were bringing to the pull anyway. I think that would be a really unique story, and I think that'd be a good fit for some of those guys. And I mean, shoot, 1,100 horsepower, that's right around what like a pro stock truck would be. So yeah, I mean, who knows? This could tip a lot of people's interest.
I mean, you said it just right. That would fit in their program, and it would fit in the trailer too, right? I mean,
true, right? Yeah.
Right?
Well, everyone always says the mini rod is just it's a rolling engine stand. When you need that spare anyway, you might as well go out and get some points with it. So put your spare in the trailer and hook it to the track from time to time.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, and we're gonna have a meeting on Friday at the Banquet Friday afternoon. I think that one's at 4:30. Trying to squeeze it in between some other meetings. There's so many meetings going on, and activities. It'll kind of overlap the bowling tournament, beginning of the bowling tournament on Friday. Are you in the bowling tournament, by the way? Do you have a team?
So I'm pretty limited at this point with the amount of days that I'm allowed to take off to go pulling. So I do have to put in a full day Friday. So I won't be to the banquet till about 5, 6, 7 o'clock Friday night. Now, that's good for the bowling tournament because I always tell everyone my bowling score and my golf score are usually about the same, and that's really bad for both sports. So you just don't need Mike Idle, there for that.
Yeah, and Mark Fisher had an important question that we didn't address. Is Jason buying pizza again this year? I think that's an important question.
That's your next bet on Full Pull Picks. It's the over/under on the likelihood or the number of pizzas that he will buy. But Ron, you know Jason Schultz as well as I do. What are you taking here? Do you see Jason making a 130 pizza order at the banquet?
I do.
I think so too. I think the analytics are pointing strongly towards that.
And I think the bill exceeded 500, I think, last year. So I'm going to stay in that 500 to 600 range on the cost of those pizzas. So depends on what he has to drink and how much he has to drink. So
he's excited. I will already put it that way. He's excited. So I would say the odds, if you're taking the Yes Pizza line, you're in good shape.
And don't forget, you do have a meeting with Kevin Davis, so you don't want to miss that one.
We'll be there right at the corner, same spot.
William Wilkinson wants you to reach out to him and answer a friend request. I'm friends with him. He's a Pulitzer. Sure. I think he's in Tennessee, maybe.
I thought at one point we were fans. I thought we were fans. I'll double check that. So things get lost in the shuffle with a lot of this new social media stuff. So I'll look into that.
Oh, absolutely, Geesh. It's daunting sometimes.
Well, and that's been a tidal wave for me because this went from something that, I was never a big social media guy to now it's a very big part of my life. So sometimes I feel like I'm on top of it and killing it. And sometimes I'm a boomer. So,
there's so much, it's daunting to, and I talked about that before Lufkin, and I knew Lufkin was going to be huge this year.
Yeah.
Just because I'm admin on their page.
Yep.
And that gal they have doing their social media page down there does such a good job, putting out content every day. And I just would get constant throughout the entire year notifications from that page. And I thought, geez, there's so much interest, so many people asking questions. It's going to be massive. So social media, the power of it, you can't deny it. It's big. So, well, we ran over, Mike. I thought we could contain it within an hour, but it was too big a show. It would not be contained.
Ron, I've missed you, man. I've missed being on Outlawed Live. I wasn't going to settle. I wanted some bonus podcasts tonight. So, a little 15 minutes extra.
So awesome. Mike, great to have you back. And, I'll let everybody know who the guest is going to be next week. Big thanks to Skyler Leaper for coming on tonight. And big thanks to Adam Summerlot from Case IH. Congratulations to Mick Meyer from Plymouth, Minnesota, winning that Farmall 25 SC tractor in the Outlaw 2024 Superfan contest brought to you by Case IH. Thanks to everyone, especially everyone out there watching, all the Outlaw Superfans out there. And a lot of them watch every week religiously, Mike, and we appreciate 100%. You. So big thanks, and we'll see you next Tuesday night at 7. Unless you're coming to the banquet, we'll see you this weekend. So
perfect.
Thank you all for watching. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Second points. Legal limits. Wow. Give him a hand. He went right past the Schaefer oil leader barrel over there. 3. Are you ready here tonight? All right, here we go, fans. The truck out of Georgia, the bumper crop. And Cole Altman, once again, that mark to beat, 340.42.
Time points champion just a few years back, Craig Ulmer, Sweet Pain.
And 86 right now, 345 and 86. Here we go with the Kentuckian.